Today we're joined by a diplomat whose career seamlessly bridges global strategy, culture and public service, Anaïse Manuel.
With more than 2 decades of experience building strategic partnerships and fostering international collaboration, Ambassador Manuel currently serves as the Ambassador of the Republic of Haiti to Great Britain and Northern Ireland, as well as permanent representative to the International Maritime Organization.
Before entering diplomatic service, she led cross-functional initiatives at EY within strategy and transactions, directed a business accelerator supporting Black Latino entrepreneurs in Florida, and mentored students to expand across to higher education, all reflecting a deep commitment to inclusive growth and opportunity.
She is also an Emmy Award-winning co-creator and producer of Caribbean Cookout, using food and storytelling as powerful tools of cultural diplomacy, and a proud legacy member of the Haitian Ladies Network.
At a time of renewed momentum in Haiti-UK relations across security, education, trade and culture, Ambassador Manuel is helping to reintroduce Haiti's story to the UK and the world, a story rooted in history, creativity, resilience and global relevance.
Today we'll explore her diplomatic journey, her vision for Haiti-UK relations, the role of small states in a multilateral world, and how culture can reshape global narratives.
Please join us in welcoming Her Excellency Ambassador Anaïse Manuel. A delight to have you on Off the Agenda.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor being here. Thank you.
Pleasure.
Can I start? I really want to go from strategy to statecraft. Your career spans private sector, strategy, entrepreneurship, media, and now, of course, diplomacy. And looking back, what were the defining moments that prepared you for representing Haiti on the global stage?
It actually really started at home. My parents were both public servants. So in our family, we understood very early that serving our community, being of service to others was really important. And when I joined DY, I learned how to think strategically, how to do the due diligence, how to work with different stakeholders, how to listen. And I also, as you mentioned, led a business accelerator for Black and Latino entrepreneurs. I led a mentorship program for students, and that taught me the human aspect. You can have all the great strategies in the world, but if you're not connecting with people, what good is that strategy? And working with entrepreneurs and students also taught me how important access was, and bringing all of that together, the human touch, access, and thinking strategically is, I think, what defines me as a diplomat.
So you talk about relationships. You describe the Haiti-UK relations as a partnership with significant untapped potential, like any love story, I guess. And so what do you feel is most different about the moment now compared to the past? And what do you see are the untapped potentials that you'd like to focus on?
Well, I think people don't realize how long the relationship is and how much history there is between the two countries. And actually, the only existing copy of the Act of Independence of Haiti is here in the UK. And I'm discovering all these beautiful things about this relationship. And we even have a Queen, Mary Louise, who lived here in London, and there's a blue plaque in Marylebone for where she lived. So there's a lot of history there. What feels new is the appetite. And I think both countries are excited about what's to come. The UK is one of the permanent members of the Security Council. And yes, we do have a security crisis. So it is important for us to be engaging at that level. But also, we're surrounded by the Commonwealth and British overseas territories. So it makes sense for us to be engaging with the UK and not only to our partner to the north, the United States. And what's been really exciting to see is all the scholarships that have been awarded to Haitian students, all the Cheveners that are here. We even have a Rhodes Scholar from Haiti at Oxford. And it's exciting to see that relationship growing really between both countries.
Fantastic. And you talk about history and modern purpose. So I think that's a fascinating dynamic.
Absolutely.
You've also talked a lot about the sort of power of small states, and in an increasingly fragmented global landscape, you've been clear that multilateralism matters more than ever. How can smaller states like Haiti effectively shape outcomes with institutions such as UN, CARICOM, and IMO, etc.?
In November, there were elections at the IMO. And what I realized is in conversations with those who were running for these seats, the big countries who were running for these seats, is that Haiti's vote weighs as much as the UK's vote, as the US's vote, as France's vote. So as long as we are being strategic, we're being organized, we're coming together to set our priorities, we can do so in these spaces because our currency is the same. It's not because my GDP is less or my size is less that my voice is weakened.
That must be quite empowering for you to know.
It absolutely is. It absolutely is. And it's great sitting at the table, able to negotiate, knowing that my vote is worth as much as anybody else's.
Now, when you look at the security, cooperation, education and trade, they're all central to this renewed engagement between Haiti and the UK. Which of these areas do you believe is the most transformative for Haiti in the next decade, and why?
In the short term, absolutely, it is security. There is a security crisis in Haiti, and we need to take care of that immediately in order to focus on the others. But long term, my answer has to be education. I was recently at a all-party parliamentary group on Haiti, and the focus was education. Those Chevening scholars were being highlighted, and you could see what education does for our people. And for me, education is nation building. These types of opportunities is what is transformative for us. And we have an extremely young population.
Yeah.
54% of our population is under 25. So if we're able to get these opportunities, it'll be transformative for our country.
And exciting.
And absolutely exciting. But of course, we need the right conditions and we need the opportunities for them.
And of course, it starts a relationship that one then therefore can see extending from a 25-year-old through their life.
Absolutely. Absolutely. It's exciting.
I mean, culture as a soft power. As an Emmy-winning producer, you've shown how food and storytelling can shift perceptions. So I'm keen to ask you, how do you see cultural and gastronomic diplomacy changing the way Haiti is understood across the world and here in the UK?
I think there's something special that happens when you're sitting around the table and sharing a meal.
Absolutely.
And sharing a dish from your country and sharing the story behind the ingredients and what that meal means to your people. And hearing somebody say, I did not know that about Haiti. I think it's beautiful. Storytelling does what no policy could do, right? And I think I may be wrong, but I'm guessing that the biggest diplomatic moments happen not in a credit room, but around a meal. And it's not only food diplomacy, it's fashion diplomacy. I love going somewhere and wearing something made by a Haitian designer and being able to change the conversation from the constant crisis, the poverty, all the stereotypes that you're constantly hearing about in Haiti. I think storytelling and cultural diplomacy is the way to change that narrative. Absolutely.
Kill my curiosity. What is your national dish?
Oh, it's called the soup Joumou. So, and it's the independence soup, or independence is on January 1st. And when we got our independence, we created the soup from ingredients that were banned from slaves. And symbolically, that meant now that we no longer are slaves, we are using all these ingredients and bringing it together in this traditional meal called the soup Joumou, independent soup, which squash with all kinds of roots. It's a beautiful meal.
It sounds amazing, and all that history caught up
Absolutely.
as well.
Absolutely.
Now, you talked about the power of storytelling, which I strongly believe in. I guess as a journalist I would, but Haiti is often discussed through the lens of crisis, which I guess for you as a diplomat must be quite frustrating, and not its whole contribution, like you've mentioned, culture and gastronomy, for example. But what responsibility do you think international partners have through media and institutions to help to shift that dialogue and shift that lens?
There was a study done after the earthquake that showed that whenever Haiti was mentioned, it was mentioned in the lens of crisis, in the lens of poverty. And what that does is perpetuate these types of stereotypes and narratives about Haiti. Yes, it is accurate that there is crisis, but it's more complex than that. We are more layered than that. There's more to us than crisis. And so we have a responsibility as Haitians, as a diplomat, to inform what we are about. And these stereotypes affect policies. For example, there's a travel ban on Haiti right now. People from the UK are not able to travel to Haiti. But what we are not saying is that this violence is concentrated in the capital and not all of Haiti. And this travel ban has killed tourism in all of the country, because when you're saying that in the news, you're telling people it's impossible to go anywhere else.
The whole ecosystem is impacted.
The whole ecosystem is impacted. So we have a responsibility to tell the story as it should, and not through these lenses of constant, poverty, crisis, etc. There's more to us than that.
Can I mean, just to probe that a tiny bit further, and you've spoken, as you've just done now, the challenges of keeping sort of Haiti on the global agenda and amid sort of the competing international crises and war. How do you go about sustaining that engagement and urgency without allowing the voice to be sidelined?
It's true. We are competing. There's so many fires around the world.
Yeah.
There's so many crises around the world. It's about showing up. I'm at the table. I'm knocking on the doors every single day. And thankfully, we have great counterparts at the Foreign Office. We have allies. I think it's important to find friends of Haiti.
Yeah.
And we do have great friends of Haiti in Parliament, one of them being Lord Leslie Griffiths, who leads the APPG on Haiti. And I never stop making the case for Haiti. I think people are probably tired of seeing me at the Foreign Office. But building these relationships is important, and reminding them that we're more than these crises, because there is a little bit of Haiti fatigue.
Yeah.
There comes a point where, okay, you know what, we don't want to hear about that anymore. That's why the conversations about culture, that's why the conversations about trade are important. What is there, what do we bring to the table?
Yep.
For the UK? It's not only our problems, but there are opportunities as well. And that's the message that I have to keep pushing every single day.
Keep pushing. Persistence overcomes resistance. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Your career has been such a phenomenal one. I'm truly inspired as a woman, from winning an Emmy to presenting your letters of credence to His Majesty King Charles III. Which moments for you have felt most meaningful and why?
It's hard to say. The Emmy really showed the importance of storytelling, and it showed that our story is important. But presenting my letters to His Majesty, brought everything together. It was representing my country. It was representing my family. It was standing there on behalf of my daughters, on behalf of Black women. The first free Black nation, being in that space, there's something very symbolic about it. So I talk about it and I get emotional. I don't think anything beats that moment, really. It was bigger than me.
But it makes you also reflect on the journey it's taken you to get to that stage.
Absolutely. Every single moment mattered. Every single moment mattered. And whether I thought it was a mistake or I didn't understand the deviation in my journey, it all brought me to that. All my passions, all the side hustles, all the struggles, leaving Haiti and being a refugee with my family to the US, and all of the learned lessons from these experiences all led me to that moment. So it was an extremely powerful moment. And I often talk about how the summer before I was just a tourist in front of Buckingham Palace with my family. I couldn't imagine that a few months later I would be coming back and the gates of Buckingham Palace would open to Haiti, with me sitting in that beautiful carriage. But it was extremely
To get to that stage, where have you been guided by intuition, do you think? Or as most leaders often are? Did you just trust your gut that it was the right time to move or change in your career?
You have to lean into these moments, right? And how everything happens. If you look at it on a paper, it doesn't really make sense. So you have to trust these moments when it just doesn't make sense. But you have to lean into it and say yes and take the leap. It was hard to decide with my family to leave EY, where I had been for 15 years about, leave Miami, change schools with my family, ask my entire family to pack up and come to represent Haiti. And we took it, and it was the right move.
And as you say, I mean, diplomacy is both demanding and actually it's deeply personal too. How do you go about balancing and putting appropriate perspective to it all, whilst at the same time, obviously carrying the weight of representation of your country?
I think London is one of the biggest diplomatic hubs in the world.
Yeah.
It's extremely busy, and the pace is demanding. I'm not even going to pretend that it isn't. I have to be intentional about carving time for my family. As I mentioned, my daughters are here with me, and it's important that I spend time with them, and it's important that I guess my cup stays full, because I cannot properly represent Haiti from a cup that is empty.
Of course.
Yeah.
So I need to consciously prioritize time for myself and for my family. But I always remember my why and my purpose. And this is not just a job. It's bigger than me, like I said. I'm representing an entire people, an entire nation, and really that keeps me going when the going gets rough, and that's what I have to remember.
And you are so busy, I don't think you would have sat down with a cup of tea and thought about your legacy. But if I can tempt you to think about it now, and particularly when you think about the young Haitian women, the women of color that you're bound to have inspired by what you've done, what do you hope when you look at your kid that they see is possible?
Trust the journey. Trust the journey. The deviations in your path all lead to an amazing moment, to possibility. I strongly believe in passion projects. I believe in the power of a side hustle, like the Caribbean cookout show that I was doing after hours while I was working at EY. And look,
Wow.
that ended up in an Emmy Award. And trusting your gut, right? Trusting your gut. And like I said, possibility for us women of color from a small island in Haiti. There's room for us anywhere.
Yeah.
There's space for me at Buckingham Palace. And who would have thought that I would be having these conversations with King Charles and all these great diplomats in the diplomatic world. So, yeah.
And are there any London-based passion projects that you're working on now that you can tell us about?
Soft power.
Yeah.
I'm really trying to push Haitian art.
Yeah.
So having conversations in different museums, in the art scene, it's not my expertise, but when you go with passion, people are willing to listen to you, and we do have great art. So
You do.
we do have great art. So I'm trying to push that. We're working with the International Slavery Museum in Liverpool, and it's great to see that there is that excitement around understanding Haiti's past and what Haitian independence meant to the end of the transatlantic slave trade. Here in the UK, they've only mostly looked at the Commonwealth story of slavery, but all of it starts with Haiti, and it's exciting to see that there's that interest. And so that project at the International Museum of Slavery in Liverpool is really exciting. There's a lot of excitement right now about our team, our national football team that qualified at the World Cup after 52 years. And first of all, people love an underdog story, right? People love an underdog story. And our team didn't play one game at home because of the security situation.
So they would.
And still, we were able to qualify.
That's an incredible story.
It's an incredible story. And there's a lot of excitement around that. And a couple of our players actually play in the Premier League.
Indeed.
And so sports diplomacy. Right? And to go back to what I was saying, we are more than our struggles. We are more than the crises. There are all these beautiful stories from Haiti that I'm trying to push and work on. And there's a lot of excitement from the UK around these stories as well.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
Can I come out with one final question, if I may? And we generally do ask this as a final question off the agenda. And you made reference to the fact that I think it was 54% of the Haiti population is beneath the age of 25. And look at the world generally, we live in fast-changing, challenging times where perhaps we might describe it as hope and aspiration are in short supply. What advice would you give to that next generation as they begin their own journey through life and through their joining the career path?
There's so much talent coming out of Haiti, and like I said, when you hear stories of young Haitians with very little opportunity being offered a Rhodes Scholarship, that's a testimony about the power that lies in this youth. So if we are able to provide these opportunities to this talent, the opportunities are endless for our youth. And I'm going to talk about AI because that's really exciting for a country like Haiti, where you have 1.5 million displaced people right now, and kids are not able to necessarily be in a traditional classroom.
Yeah.
But with the power of technology and of AI, I think this youth can learn so much more than what they could in a traditional classroom. So how can we turn this crisis into opportunities for this generation that we would have traditionally thought is a lost generation because of lack of access?
Yeah.
But with all these advances in technology, I think we can change that script and say, actually, what can we do with this to change the path of that youth? And I think it can be a transformational for this 54% of our youth. It's exciting for them too.
It is indeed. I mean, it's so exciting to have you here. And you're sitting on the precipice of so many possibilities.
Yes.
It really is a great time.
I think so too.
And we thank you so much for making time to be with us. I know you're so busy to squeeze us in. It's really a pleasure for us.
It's an honor being here talking about Haiti.
Indeed, inspirational and very candid. So we thank you enormously for spending the time with Off the Agenda. Look forward to welcoming you back, and in the meantime, we wish you well in London. And if we can help with the passion projects and more.
Oh, thank you so much.
Arts and culture being mine.